day, this refuge at 1,800 meters elevation, and unfortunately everything seems to be directly in the wind. We put these tents up 3 hours ago, I guess, 4 hours ago, and a part of me is shocked they're still here. The winds seem to be continuing to increase. Some people here are estimating that it's probably close to like gusts of 100, 110 kilometer an hour winds on a regular basis. Definitely giving my tent a full test of its ability to stay here. It's also pummeling me with sand. Everything inside my tent is covered in sand. You can see it sitting on all of my stuff. It's just layered. I don't even know where the sand's coming from, but it's coming right through the screen. Everything is just completely dusty. I don't know how. Look at these sunglasses. Those were clean like 3 hours ago. So I think that I'm not really sure how sleeping is going to go tonight. It's loud. I think we have permission to sleep in the refuge. Nobody else is. There's one or two of my friends that are probably going to do that, and I might join them because I honestly don't see sleeping even a wink if I stay here, which is absolutely insane. Luckily, it's not raining, so it's not that bad. And the view outside is actually quite incredible if you can withstand the wind. So, anyways, we'll give this a go. Been sitting in the tent for a little bit here, and it's absolutely ridiculous. I don't think there's any danger, but I'm not going to sleep a wink. It's so loud. These winds are probably gusting 100, 110 kilometers an hour, and this just makes no sense. So I'm going to bail here, go to the refuge, be quiet, and I'll get up in the morning better rested and go from there. So, yikes. Sunrise view. Really is hard to walk. Good morning. It's been quite a day, but this weather's quite dramatic, but I love it. The sky is just moving endlessly. It's quite the experience. Clouds. So down there, that's the sun bouncing off the water. This is like being on the moon, I think, if the moon was a mountain. This lady, by the way, I passed her. She's like in her 60s doing this, and I think she's walking alone. But wind is howling. Luckily there's no rain. All these rocks are a little bit slippery because of the condensation from the fog. You can get so lost out here. A second ago I actually saw a mountain, like a massive mountain range in the dense fog over there. Hello, just trucking away on day number 7. Definitely haven't had a day like this before. Watching these clouds is so relaxing. You can just sit here and watch them come by. It's been really quite an amazing day of watching these clouds against the landscapes. There's so much movement and flow to them. Lots of colors. I'll have to look up later exactly the route we did through here. I'm kind of cursing the person who said that the second half is easy. So just when you think you're at the top of a mountain, you realize that you're not. And you keep going. Alright, I'm almost at the summit of this mountain. The wind's so strong it's actually helping to push me up the mountain. There's the mountain. And in the background you might be able to see how fast the wind is moving. Clouds are rushing to the summit. I've taken a lot of pictures of wind, but after walking through there, the wind that's coming through between those two peaks is just incredible. Mary, today's a good day for me to test these glasses. So this is my favorite part of ridge walking. This one's pretty narrow, so over here you can see down below. And over here, down below too. We've been walking this ridge for probably 5 kilometers or so, but this was one of the more narrow sections. Area appears to all be burnt by a forest fire. It's pretty recent as well. You can still smell it. walking 15 kilometers of walking the same ridge, and I'm ready for a change of scenery. We come down to this kind of Badlands looking area, some crazy looking trees. Good morning, it's day number 8. I woke up doing great, one of the first up at the camp. It's about 6:30, I'm ready to start walking. Had coffee, even took a little bit of time to enjoy the full moon as it rose around camp. Started walking, take about 10 steps. Notice my money pocket is open. I'm like, where is it? So as Lindsay would recall, I have a typical like panic section. Very fit. I'm like, well, go to all my places where it is, think about my pockets last night, I rip apart my bag. It's not any of that stuff. And then it dawns on me, I'm like, occasionally when I come back to camp, I put it in my Amazon package bag with all my papers. So I checked in there and it was there. So 2 things that I found it, because all the worst was going through my head. And secondly, I'm going to stash a second credit card in with my passport, so at least I have a backup. Anyways, ready to start. I want to look up what these clouds are, but we saw them yesterday and again today. They're beautiful, and they just kind of sit in the air. They don't move at all. They're there for hours. Last night I got drunk with those Corsican guys, so I was almost to the refuge and come up over a hill, and there's like 8 guys drinking by some trees. They've got like a really nicely made concrete bar that's quite long, a piece of pork on it, bottles everywhere. So they offer me a drink. So I took some whiskey, so I had 2 ounces of whiskey with them. They even gave me ice for it. They didn't speak any English except for one guy who had in 1978 done a tour of America. He had a bit of English, so he was nice to talk to me for a while. I was kind of waiting for my walking partner to catch up to me so that he could help translate, and eventually he did. They'd offered me some cheese, Corsican cheese, so I ate that. Some bread, some grapes, so it was good. Then they gave me another 2 ounces of whiskey. And then I asked what another guy was drinking, and apparently it's Patrice, which is like a Sambuca from Marseille. And so then I had 2 ounces of that. So I walked away quite drunk, which is I think why I maybe misplaced my money last night. Plus I bought a half liter of wine. But anyways, at dinner we were talking about it. Another guy I know, he kind of gone through the same experience with them. He's like, did you eat the cheese? I said yes. And he's like, did you look at the cheese? I said no. He's like, it's full of these things. And I'm like caterpillar? He's like, yeah. I'm like, dead caterpillar? He's like, no, live. But then I got it translated again, and it was actually maggots. So there's apparently a Corsican cheese that has live maggots in it, that I ate yesterday with some bread, and I actually thought it tasted good. So I don't know. Anyways, it was an experience. Beautiful morning, the sun's not up yet. walking along this river with gentle sounds of water. And that's the moon. Last night was actually a little bit chilly for sleeping. I mean, I was comfortable, but I wore socks for one of the first times. My red long johns and my thermal shirt plus my down jacket. No toque or mitts. And I stayed warm enough. The sun is just coming up. This is a beautiful view of kind of a Corsican landscape. We've got very rough grazing land for cattle. There's cattle down there. And then mountains always in the distance. It was nice this morning. I woke up in good time and actually took a little bit of time to eat cereal. My cold soaked oats under the full moon. Opened up the tent so I could see it. It was quite beautiful. There's barely a need for a headlight tonight. Last night it was so bright. And then I had coffee, sat at the picnic table in the dark and drank it as I saw just looking at the moon and the stars. So it's a nice way to start the day. The sun has just risen over the mountain peak for today, putting an all new color on the landscape. We're eating dinner last night. There's wine, lasagna, everybody's at the same table. And then the owner of the place, or the guardian, cook, and server, they do all them things. He tells his joke as he's cleaning up. He's like, and in French, and everybody kind of laughs. So I asked the Australian girl to translate it for me, and she's like, this is not a joke I should be telling, but she told it anyways. So he's like, the gist of the joke is that a priest enters a room and someone says, it looks like you've gained a little bit of weight. And the priest says, no, I'm okay. I can still fit inside two 14-year-olds. So there is a Corsican classic French joke that is apparently appropriate to tell to a table full of guests. So I bought this at Visanova. Still got about 150 meters to climb this mountain. I think it's the last of the GR20. So I'm gonna have a bar, power up and climb. Thank you. This is the top of my last mountain. Mountain peak. I've got a little bit more up to go to hit my last mountain peak of the GR20. It's up there, maybe the one behind. It's a fun little scramble to get here. As you can see, kind of along this ridge line. There's my hands and stuff. I was happy not to have a backpack for this short section. Then after this, we descend down this hill to hopefully there's a refuge down here. And just going down this mountain, it's so steep. Like, luckily I'm good on rocks, but and they're grippy and we're not wet. But there's like a 40-foot elevation change here, and not much to go with. Here's another example of the conditions of this descent. Looks like I'm almost to a spot where it's going to get a little easier. So I just left the refuge for a quick pit stop. Food was quite expensive, so I just had a €2 coffee for a little caffeine. And I'm going to carry on. I've got lots of food with me, so I don't need to buy anything. Although it did look good. I tried to charge my devices and they wouldn't let me charge unless I stayed overnight, even for a €2 fee, so that was a little bit unusual. I think I'm okay for battery power though. And nice little vantage point here. I'm about to leave the GR20, take what's called the variant, which is a high altitude variant. So instead of continuing down through this valley, I'm going to go up to these, there's another set of mountains, alpine area up here. It's a pretty good view of the second half of my day so far. On the mountain on the backside and crossed about there, and then went up to this little point, which is where that big giant cross is, and then came back down this valley over to here, which is where the refuge is. We carried on down through here, through this valley, keep dropping elevation, and now in a very steep way I've climbed up to where I am. Well, this has become a very hard day and it's hot now, but in the distance there, I believe is the town of Brevello. So just leaving in Brevello, I had that beer and hamburger and fries and a crepe. My belly is full. I have been craving that for quite a lot of days, kind of had that marked as something I would use to celebrate. A bunch of us regrouped there. So we're all now hauling to the refuge tonight. We got another 90 minutes to 2 hours, something like that. Get us in around 7:30. And then pretty much celebration because it's all downhill from there tomorrow. Okay, just made it up that pass between Brevello and Prowley, which I think is a 1200 meter elevation. So we continue to go down from here. I pushed up that super fast. I think I probably burnt through that burger already. So home stretch now. Somewhere down there is Corsica. See the Mediterranean in the distance. I'm currently at 1200 meters. Corsica's around 200, so I got about a kilometer down to go. I'll find it sometime tomorrow. So looks like I'm gonna make it after all. It's been quite a trip. I did not expect to see a wild pig up here. video. So it's 5:30 in the morning. I just had one of the worst showers I've ever had in my life. So you have to go down this cliff, maybe probably 200 feet down this crazy path. You get to this shack. It's dark. There's no lights. The shower is cold. You walk inside here. There's like, it's concrete. There's bugs. There's a spider. And then down here on the bottom, there's a mouse. Anyways, I'm clean. Good morning. It's about 7:43. I've been up for about 2 hours. Just enjoying this amazing view. I've had lots of people around the tent today, kind of looking at the view as well. This flamingo has been in many photos. The drone was out for a bit. It feels good. We only have to go down, I guess, to the sea, about 1 kilometer. We don't have to go up very much. Had a shower and hung out with our new trail friends. And we go down today.
Two, one. Wonderful.
And I have to take some pictures. So for me, the GR20 is over. Walked down the hill with some friends. It was a lovely day, really relaxed, went for a swim, and
Chatted the whole way down. I didn't hike any the last day solo, and yeah, it was a blast. A little bit of there's no big like pizzazz when you finish, but it feels good to have it done, and my body is in it's in good shape. So just I think the only thing I feel is just a little bit of pain on my knee, which is very minor. It'll be gone by tonight probably, and my finger that I keep complaining about. My feet are actually fine. I'm not even begging to take my shoes off. So all in all, a success.